This is the lesson 3 video notes on how to bracket and mash. We're going to take a quick peek at example 1, even though it was done for you. Real fast, if you look at the first bracket right here, you can see that they counted the negative signs, 2 negatives, makes it positive. Now notice you don't have to write the plus sign in when it's the first one, you guys know that, but it is positive. Mash the numbers, the only number there is 3, chuck in the peas and the carrots. Second bracket. Count the negative signs. 1, so the whole thing's negative. Mash the 2 numbers in your calculator, 16 times 4, which gives you 64. And again, throw in the peas and the carrots. You notice that I changed the order, but it could be YX. It technically doesn't matter, even though the geeks want you to put it in alphabetical. Third bracket. Over here. Count the negative signs. 1, which makes the whole thing negative. Mash the 2 numbers, 4 times 2 is 8, throw in the peas and the carrots. And that's it. The only thing I wanted to take a quick look at was this thing called the solo artist. Now, some of you guys have already seen this before in your bracketing in lesson 1 or lesson 2, but I wanted to make sure we catch it. If you look at example 1, you'll notice how small that first bracket is right there. Teachers and test makers love to do this to you because what they really are looking for is for you to combine these two as your first step. But if you bracket, you'll never do that. But just be careful. This is called the solo artist. Notice there's no parentheses here, no nothing. So all we do is bring it down and rewrite it. Then we would bracket this one right here and do our thing. No negative signs, so it's positive. Mash the 2 numbers, throw in the peas and the carrots. So what we're doing is just making you aware of these things called solo artists. There's no parentheses. They just get brought down. Example 2. Take a peek at it, see if you can find the solo artists. I'm going to pause for a second and let you guys look at it. Okay. First one, definitely a solo artist. Parentheses in this bracket, parentheses in this bracket here, but of course the 7 over here hanging out at the end is also considered a solo artist. Again, all we would do is when we get to them, just bring them down. You would do all these separately, and again, just bring it down with its sign, and you'll fill in the rest of that in between. Finally, example 3. If you peek, take a look at it. You can press pause real fast, and then come back. Okay, if we go through this bracket, no problem, no problem. Right here is our first solo artist. And again, as you work on, you'll see even a letter can be considered a solo artist. We're not going to do anything with those. So when we get to this bracket, you're just going to bring it down. And when you get to this bracket, you're just going to bring it down. Remember to include the sign. And again, we would fill in all this other stuff later on. Okay, let's do one together before you get on with the worksheets. All right, example 2. Bracket and mash. First step, obviously, always bracket. Remember, watch out for those solo artists. They're short, and they put them in the middle of a math sentence, and a lot of kids forget them. There's another one. Again, from sign to sign, be careful. All right, now we don't have to do that PEMDAS stuff, so let's just crank it out. Bracket number 1, count the negative signs. 2 negatives makes the whole thing positive. I'm going to put the plus sign even though you guys don't usually, and I get that. 4 times 3 times 5, punch in your calculator. Hopefully you get same thing I'm getting, 60. Throw in the peas and the carrots. Done with bracket 1. Bracket 2, count the number of negative signs. 1, so the whole thing is negative. Numbers, 7 times 4. You throw in the peas and the carrots. Third bracket, solo artist, bring them down. Fourth bracket, how many negative signs? Remember, don't worry about the plus signs. They don't mean anything. It's all about the negative signs. 1 negative makes the whole thing negative. Mash the numbers. 3 times 5. Chuck in the peas and the carrots. Next bracket is another solo artist. So we're going to take care of him by just bringing him down. And then finally we get to the last bracket. Count the negative signs. 2 makes it plus. Mash the numbers. Throw in the peas and the carrots. And that's it. You now know how to bracket and mash. You are officially ready to bracket and mash.